Guys, I know he doesn't play for Arsenal, but I was about to call him Alexis Sanchez. Eden Hazard. I mean, they're always with each other, so that's probably why. But Eden Hazard is a player you can't help but admire. A player I followed closely, particularly because I thought he was coming to Arsenal. I mean, any Arsenal fan will tell you when we were linked with him forever when he was in France, constantly linked with him, constantly bidding for him, not getting him. When City, I believe City, Chelsea, and United all came circling and all their bids were accepted or something like that, and it was down to Hazard to choose. We knew by that period we're not involved and we can't get him, and it's frustrating because he was really good in France. He's been very good in the Prem, but we need to speak about him. I mean, he polarizes opinion because you know the guy is quality, but at the same time, there's this area of doubt about him. He's been projected from how he's been playing from young and his potential. He's been given this high ceiling, so that gives him a lot of leeway. But I think he's what 26, 27 now. You're waiting to see this potential. This year he's been amazing. What 16, 17, maybe even 18 Premier League goals, however much in all comps. He's playing with a smile on his face, fire in his belly. We don't know what happened last year. Last year was ridiculous. He had a stinker of a season, really, 20 odd appearances and hardly any goals or no goals or whatever. Season before that tore it apart. So that's why he polarizes his opinion. The FA Cup, you saw he went missing against Arsenal, but you also saw him turn up against Spurs. He went missing at the Emirates, but he also destroyed us at Stamford Bridge. He scored against every big side this season, City, whatever I believe, whoever you want to say. He's turned up and he's won the league and yeah, he's won PFAs and he is a quality player, but you're waiting to see that next level. And for me, to get to that next level for any player, it's up to you. Like, of course, you do the training and the tactics and stuff, but it's up to you to dedicate yourself to like how Ronaldo did. Ronaldo, I keep saying this, if he just done the bare minimum of training, just done whatever, and typically how these footballers are, and just lived life. Yeah, he would have been a good footballer. He would have been a relatively known name. He would have maybe still been at United, would have won Prem and stuff like that, but he wouldn't have been a household name. He had a desire to get to that level. No one can make you get to that level. You have to want it. I do think Hazard wants to get better. He's clearly someone who takes pride in his game, but to get to that level, I'm not sure for many reasons. Firstly, football's just a game to him. Not to gas Alexis and use Arsenal bias or anything, but that was a way to escape poverty. Ronaldo was a way to escape poverty, etc. So they had that drive. Hazard comes from a well-off family, family of all footballers and stuff like that. It's just a hobby, and it comes across in his game as well. He plays for joy. He likes to showboat and things like that, and it's glorious to see. But to get that drive, you need to get the drive required. Is what I'm talking about. As I'm trying to say, you need to like if he came from poverty or something like that, he'd have a bigger drive because it wouldn't just be a game; it'd be a lifestyle for him, sort of thing. And yeah, he hasn't got that in his game yet. I do think to a degree he suffered between whether he's a wing or is he a 10. I used to think he was a wing. I actually think he's a 10. And when you see Conte's basically giving him a free role to hover between the flanks and midfield, yeah, it's something like that. The only obvious criticism of Hazard is his goals. Like that's the only thing. He probably for someone of his quality, he just doesn't score enough. He assists, he links up, he showboats. Off the field, he's very confident. If you see when I know it doesn't mean anything, but you need to read between the lines. When they're doing little fan specials and videos, he's always saying I'm the best or whatever. It's him. He clearly thinks highly of himself, and he clearly believes in himself. And I mean, he quite frankly he should. He's a household name. He's a Belgian international. He's played how many caps for his country. He's won 2 league titles at Chelsea, and he's a household name. But to get to that next level, it's just up to him. I personally believe if he had Alexis's drive combined with his skills, he'd be quality. He would be that level. He would be at the Madrids, at the PSGs. No disrespect to Chelsea, because Chelsea are a big club, but he's been talked about as going to them clubs. He's also talked up his own chances. They're always constantly in from Madrids, PSGs, etc. To get to that level, it's just up to him because he has it all. He has all the tools to do it. He's a mercurial dribbler. He can link up, like I've said. He set pieces, crosses. He's a very good player. He even scared us in the FA Cup final. His movement as well, very underrated aspect. His movement, the way he hovers, the way he can go around unnoticed and pick up areas. Hazard's a very good player. But in regards to the next level, I really don't know because for every good season he's had like this, he's also had many. Like I don't want to say many, that's an exaggeration, but he's had bad seasons like last year. For every great game he's had, particularly against Spurs, that's why I like him as well. He hates Spurs just as much as me. He likes turning up against them. He's had games where he hasn't turned up. He is consistent, but what level of the consistency do you need to get to that level? I mean, he is consistent, but to get to that level, I mean, it's up to him, because if he retired tomorrow, he's had a good life. He's made a lot. He's made a lot of money. He's won titles. He's played for a big club. He's won titles in 2 countries. Like, what is there? Of course, the Ballon d'Or and things like that, you might have think, yeah, I should have won it. But what real emphasis is there to want to improve or get better? Because footballers these days, back in the days, if you wanted praise and high recognition, you actually had to be about it. You actually had to get there. I'm not talking about Hazard. I'm just speaking in generally with this comment. Now, every Tom, Dick, and Harry is a world beater, is a wonder kid, is world class, is brilliant. And like, the way we as fans make these guys feel like gods and everybody's telling them how good they are, you can't blame a lot of these footballers for not reaching their potential and not having the drive. Because if they were slept on, if they weren't rated, if they were in the lower leagues, or if they were wherever, they would have a bigger drive. Personally, I believe whether Hazard gets to that Ronaldo, Messi level, it'd be incredible if he does, because them two are giants in it. Whether he does or doesn't, the man's a very good player and deserves to go down as a household name. I do believe a player of his quality should win Champions League. But he's done it, man. He's definitely a great player. Definitely. It's just, in regards to the next level, it's just all up to him. There's nothing Conte can tell him. There's nothing his peers can tell him. It's actually up to him whether he wants to get to that level. And I believe the first step he can do to get into that level is just goals. He just needs to improve his output. That's just it. Like, what else is he missing? You can say defensive contribution, like blah, 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 which he does. But that's not all irrelevant. Why are Ronaldo, Messi, and whoever you want to put slightly below them, why are they at that level? The goals and assists and their output, they're regularly, on a regular basis, they're getting insane numbers and crazy numbers. No one for a while, well, for another 20 years or something, we're not going to see the stats being broke by, like how we're seeing Messi and Ronaldo. They're setting insane stats. It's too much stats to even try and mention in this. We all know how crazy they are and things like that. But guys, in conclusion, it's up to Hazard, really, in my opinion. He's got it all. He's got it all. I would love him at Arsenal. I've actually even thought to myself sometimes, Alexis is more of a Chelsea player, and Hazard's more of an Arsenal player, in the sense that Hazard enjoys football, like enjoys the passes and things like that. Had a good conversation with a friend about this, and it was actually gave me a lot to ponder. But that's irrelevant in regards to this, guys. Deluded Goon, I'm signing out. Hazard, I do believe he can get to that level, but it's all up to him. Like I said, no one else can make him tell it. No one else can do it for him. He has to do it. So yeah, guys, Deluded Goon, I'm signing out. Hazard, you can get to that next level if you just become insanely hungry, in my opinion.